So recently I was watching this debate for speech class actually, and it was talking about how the government wants to raise minimum wage again to $15 when it comes to January. And let me tell you, and I want to convince you why that's a bad idea. There's no way on this earth that all the science pointing to this. I've concluded from both sides. I've looked at both sides, and I can honestly say that neither one of those, that the stronger argument would be that it's not a good idea. According to one study, nearly 3/4 of the U.S.-based economists opposed a federal minimum wage of $15 an hour. The reason why, when economics were asked what effect of $15 per minimum wage, we will have skill level of entry level positions. 8 out of 10 economists believe employers will hire entry level positions with greater skill, meaning that because of this lack of demand because of raising your minimum wage up, basically when you go to hire people, who are you going to hire? A guy with a high school diploma, or a guy coming out of college with a little bit of college experience, or has a bit more skills, or is better qualified? You're going to hire them for $15 an hour. If you're going to pay someone $15 an hour to do something, you're going to think, which then leads to the lower people getting more, the less qualified, more, which leads to greater unemployment rates, which just does not help our country at all, which ends up people feeding off the government, which then ends up being more taxes on the people, and then it's just a giant circle. It doesn't ever work out. Another reason is that, according to another study, minimum wage makes lower paid workers better off at the expense of others. Minimum wage hikes makes young workers less skilled, lowering their future earnings. With respect to schooling, kids aren't going to go to school because they can make $15 an hour right out of school, versus, like, I'm not saying that there are careers in school that you can go for that make a lot of money, but if I'm going to just get like a social degree or something, like just going to be like a social worker or like communications or something like that, and I end up going and working for this company, it doesn't make any sense, because why would I go to school, pay all that money, have all that debt, when I could just go make $15 an hour working at McDonald's or something like that, to be honest. And now, based on this overall theme, I guess you can predict which side I'm on more so in detail. I'm a strong believer in the fact that you can learn from the future, that you can learn about the future and predict the future by looking at the past, by examining it. I believe that examining the past mistakes in the history of things, that you can evaluate and make predictions onto what the future is going to hold. And obviously, to me, that when this idea that equal pay, basically this idea of raising minimum wage so that everyone else is equal and just taxing the rich, is basically an idea proposed by the government, and it's called equal pay. And it's just this thing where it's just not a really good thing. And one economist in his article said that it's not going to work because looking at our past, like, seriously, it's just a thing. Like, you look at all these countries that back then in the world already ran the course of life, and this didn't work. So why are we proposing that we take our free capitalistic market and lowering it down to the standards of these economies and things that didn't work in the past? So what makes you think that they're going to work now? Another point that I want to say that is, I am a Christian, so I do believe heavily what the Bible says, but putting aside the facts of I focus more on the facts of things rather than looking at my own religious beliefs, because I believe that there are a lot of fallacies of reason when it comes to using opinions, because there would be no concrete evidence of why something means something. I don't believe that raising minimum wage would do anything for the economy other than stimulate the economy, other than put it into a worse position than it's in. So hundreds of thousands of small businesses would go out of business in the first year of this happening, because these of course these big companies can keep up because they're receiving, according to the government, like 75% of them receive subsidies for just getting grants from the government, basically, to pay these workers $15 an hour and do food stamps and all these government assistant things. But it wouldn't be fair to these small businesses, because they're not going to get anything from it. They just have to rely on their own mom and pop, like local business. But that doesn't mean that it's going to work out for them, because they don't have millions of dollars of investors and millions of dollars backing them in the bank. And another good point is that when minimum wage goes up, everything else, products, services, anything just goes up too, because in order to keep up this demand of things, it's really not this difficult of a concept to grasp. If you have to pay people more to do something, their costs go up, which then the company in turn makes their products more expensive, and then the consumer ends up buying the products for a more expensive price, and which makes them in turn spend more of the money that they earned making $15 an hour, which doesn't really make any sense. And what would be the point of making everyone equal? You have the owner of Walmart making $20 million a year. Yeah, okay. So say that the company of say Walmart, according to Indeed.com, that has 2 million, it employs 2 million people, in the U.S. alone. So, and it's one of the number one job places in the world, and job employers. And the thing is, if we were to just cut back and say, okay, let's take the rich people, let's take the 1%ers and put them down where our level, and give them to the employees, it wouldn't even make sense, because if you were to take 20 million and give it to 2 million people, that'd be an extra $10 a year, which it doesn't. It's $10 a year, really. We're gonna fight over $10 an extra year, and even so, it's not minimum wage that stimulates the economy. It wouldn't be us raising the bar to stimulate the economy. It's all the new products and technology advancements and stuff like that bring into the thing. One example was that in this debate was he used this man named Ben Shapiro. If you've heard of him, look him up. He's really good. He was talking about how Mother Teresa did not do as much good as Bill Gates did, because Bill Gates created job opportunities, stimulated the economy, and we use more of his technological advancements than we do of anything that Mother Teresa did. Not saying that Mother Teresa didn't do good things. It's just that according to the growth and the job opportunities in just our daily life, it's made it a way better. And that's why I think that you should agree with me on the fact that we should raise minimum wage. And it's kind of up to the voters and things of what they decide to do. So, yeah, that's what I got.